Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. And this week I would like to talk about sleep and chronic illness, specifically keeping a sleep schedule. Keeping a consistent sleep schedule can feel literally impossible when you have a chronic illness, but I want to talk to you about it in a different concept. We're not talking about wake up every day at 7 a.m. because that isn't possible for a lot of us. But having good sleep hygiene, I think, is quite important, so that's what I want to talk about. February is generally my worst month of the year, especially when it comes to sleep. I feel like a zombie, I'm groggy. I pretty much sleep the entire 28 or 29, depending on the year, days away. This year, unfortunately, it decided to creep into a lot of January as well. But I thought because we are in February, and this is when it affects me the most, I would share my little tips, tricks, and suggestions regarding keeping a sleep schedule. Well, everyone struggles this time of year and nobody wants it to be dark and gloomy. It hits chronically ill people in a different way, a bit more severe. Our bodies are working hard, fighting off imaginary things or just fighting itself. Fighting to keep warm because many of us live in cooler or straight up cold climates. This means our bodies are burning a lot of energy trying to keep our temperature regulated and trying to warm us up. It also takes energy in the summer to cool us down, but not nearly as much as it takes to warm us up, especially if it's like where I'm at right now and the feels like is -7 Fahrenheit, in case you're not in the United States. I have this weird thing that my body does, and maybe you can relate. It seems to take me forever to warm up once I'm cold. I have to use heating pads, I have to use thick socks, I have to use blankets, I have to pile it all on. And then my body can't exactly tell when to stop. It doesn't get to a comfortable warmth and be like, oh, that's enough. I just keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter until I have to shed all of those things and wait for my body to cool down. So for me and probably a lot of you, we're having to manually regulate our temperature, or I guess you should say manually assist our bodies to regulate our temperature, and that is just a total pain. It's also a lot of energy and it's exhausting to have to always mentally keep track of where your internal thermometer is and what you have to do to help manage it. This is where layers become your best friend. I don't go anywhere without layers because I never know if I'm going to be cold or I'm going to be hot. So let's prepare for both. I make sure to wear a short sleeve or tank top and then a hoodie or sweatshirt and then my coat, hat, gloves, etc. if I'm going somewhere. Even at home, I have a t-shirt under a hoodie. I can't wear just long sleeve shirts generally. I envy people who can, but I cannot do that because I need to be able to take a layer off if I overheat, and vice versa. I need to put something extra on if I get too cold. So make sure you're always layering. Even if you don't wear it, take it with you if you're going somewhere. The next thing, helping regulate temperature, heating pads are your best friend. Whether it's a microwave one or a plug-in one or a hot water bottle, any of these things will help assist your body in warming itself up quicker while burning less energy because the heating pad or heating device is doing all the work for you. I learned last year that if you live anywhere I do where it is almost always overcast all winter, or maybe it's just overcast all year, a light simulating lamp is really helpful. When it's overcast, your body starts to produce too much melatonin, which makes you sleepy, and when you're too sleepy, it can lead to depression, etc. So if you think about melatonin in your body producing too much, it's kind of taking a low dose sleep aid, like a melatonin aid, which really does not help you out at all, especially when you're already very tired. So a solution to this is the sun simulating app. It saves my app. Sun stimulating lamp. It saves my skin every winter. You use it within an hour of waking up. You sit there for at least half an hour, and you could use it while you're reading, watching TV, eating breakfast, etc. You just set it off to the side, and it simulates to your brain that the sun is out, and it helps you produce the proper amount of melatonin. Another suggestion I saw that I find very helpful is during the day, make sure you have a lot of lights on. Overhead lights, open the curtains if it's not too cold, turn on as many lights in the room you're in as you can, because that kind of works like the sun simulating lamp as just telling your brain, hey, we're awake right now. Now, I will add into this, and we'll get into it in a second, is this doesn't just have to be during the air quotes daytime. I know we have this rigid 9 to 5, you're not considered productive unless you're awake before a certain time, and some people even think 9 o'clock is too late to wake up. That's not what we're talking about here, because I think your body will just tell you what your sleep schedule is, and I understand in some regard that is a privilege. You have obligations, a job, kids, etc. So don't take what I'm saying as rules. They are just helpful suggestions that you can fit into your everyday schedule. The hard part here is the sleep schedule, because like I said, a lot of people think, and rightfully so, I need to be up during the day and sleep at night because, not everyone can get a third shift job, and stores aren't open, especially since the illness has been around. A lot of stores are short-staffed and have changed their hours, so they're not open as late, and the things that used to be 24 hours are no longer 24 hours. I have to say that the suggested and forced upon sleep schedule that everyone assumes you will accommodate is ableist, because not all of us can function. Specifically with ME/CFS, I have seen countless people say that they are more awake in the afternoon and the evening than they are in the morning, and that is my situation. I'm in total night owl mode. I find that my best hours are about 2 to 3 p.m. until 3 or 4 a.m., which I know is not what people would consider good or proper, but that's how my body wants to work, and so I listen. Now, for me, this changes in the spring and summer. I go to a normal 9 to 5 type of sleep schedule where I'm waking up earlier in the morning and going to bed earlier at night. But for some reason, and I assume it has something to do with all the other things that I listed, I just function best at that time. And it seems like with my specific illnesses, that is common. So like I said, if it fits or what fits into your lifestyle, don't feel ashamed if it isn't considered normal by the people around you, because I think we all have our own personal normal in this journey we call chronic illness, and you should definitely just be listening to your body and not trying to force it into society's standards, unless, of course, you have to. I find that if in the winter I try to force myself up, I try to get up at 9 o'clock, I am groggy, I am grumpy, my brain fog is even worse, and I still end up not falling asleep until 3 or 4 because my body has told me it's not bedtime yet. On that note, I would also like to touch on hunger. You could find yourself a lot hungrier in the winter than any other time of year, and it goes back to the burning the extra energy. If you look, there is a lot of scientific evidence behind the fact that as mammals, and just throughout human history, we need a little extra calorie intake during this time of year for almost a hibernation type sense, but energy burning is really what it comes down to. So don't try to restrict or guilt yourself into anything because your eating habits have changed. It is completely normal. And I have mentioned this so many times. Listen to your body. Your body knows exactly what it needs, and listening to it really benefits you in the long run. This time of year is nobody's favorite. I understand that. As I'm aging, I understand it even more. And I know it's really hard when you add on the additional, you can't wake up, you're miserable, you're dragging your limbs around, and you just want to sleep 24 hours a day. But I hope something in this video was helpful for you. If you have any tips that could help me or anyone else, please leave them in the comments, because I can't get enough of learning new things, especially if they're going to benefit my life. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time.